very special Christmas Day welcome awaits you on ITV.
Anyway, nice to see you,
Yes, Bruce is back with Play Your Cards Right. And close on his heels is Jimmy Tarbuck and his Christmas All-Stars. And, of course, it wouldn't be Christmas without the big film.
Shut up, that row! I am trying to save my life, madam.
Peter Sellers stars in The Revenge of the Pink Panther. Some of the highlights of Christmas Day on ITV.
With dazzling shows, spectacular gardens, shopping, fairgrounds, sailing and golden beaches. Southport. You couldn't ask for more.
Because Christmas goes on much longer than it used to, so does Schweppes in litre-sized bottles. Anything else just isn't Schwepping.
Have you noticed the subtle change of the pace of life? We seem to be eating faster, drinking faster, and travelling faster than ever before. Is it any wonder we sometimes get indigestion? Not that we need let it beat us. We just need an effective answer. Fast. Bicidol. Beats indigestion. Fast.
Oh, and Kellogg's take golden cobs of corn and make their cornflakes the best you've ever bought. Oh, they are the ones that give your family 1 more quarter of these vitamins they need. There is iron too, and the sunshine taste, so it's smart to start with Kellogg's cornflakes. With Kellogg's cornflakes.
The search for a new colour television is over. Sanyo have created a complete range for those with a keen eye for vision and a fine ear for sound. Built to the same high standards as Sanyo's world-famous video equipment, with that same careful attention paid to contemporary styling, picture quality, and value for money. If you're searching for colour television, see Sanyo, then decide.
Over 30,000 victims were claimed by drinking drivers last year. And that's why the police are cracking down.
Coming soon, The Jewel in the Crown. Paul Scott's epic story of destinies forged by the last dramatic years of British India.
What do they do to sergeants who murder their officers?
Hang them, I think.
Very degrading. Aunt Charlotte would prefer a firing squad.
Do you think they'd mind if we said hello?
I should think they'd be delighted.
Right, come on, Jim. Let's try our luck. Thanks, Sarge.
Corporal, a bit of advice from my old Sergeant Major. Beware the mysteries of the Orient.
I'll see you in a couple of days, then, at the most.
Oh, no, you won't. You bloody well won't.
The Jewel in the Crown, starting in the new year on ITV. This is Granada.
Harrods bomb, another policeman dies. Peace on earth, the British carols in Beirut. The Christmas gathering at Greenham. A sign of the times, security alert in Bethlehem. And America's whitest Christmas for 50 years. Good evening. The police inspector critically injured in last week's Harrods bombing has died. Inspector Stephen Dodd had been one of the closest to the bomb when it exploded. He was married with 3 children. Inspector Dodd was the 3rd police officer to die as a result of the bombing, and colleagues hunting the IRA gang responsible say the last known owner of the car used the name Mr. Black. They believe he may have used the same name to buy other things, and they've asked the public to help trace him. Scotland Yard Anti-Terrorist Branch were back outside Harrods today with a more accurate replica of the car used in the bombing.
Inevitably, it was quieter than usual at Harrods on Christmas Eve. Money for the bomb victims was collected in a bucket as a Salvation Army band was playing outside as last weekend. The police were on full alert when a replica of the car was placed exactly where it was when it exploded. The police believe children were collecting car numbers, and they want photographs too of last Saturday.
We've already got quite a few photographs taken, and what I'm trying to do is to make a photographic record of exactly what went on during the morning of the 17th, and we're getting quite successful as we go along on this project, but we need more photographs. So if anybody did take photographs in Hans Crescent during that morning, would they please let us have the photographs?
Where do they expect to find Mr. Black?
Anybody, for example, who has had somebody move into their area or into their house, or flat or bungalow in the recent past, certainly since the 22nd, we would like to hear from, or even before this 22nd, because that man may be Black. Black may, for example, have used the name. The reason I want the name used, and I'm disclosing it, is that Black, as he used the name when he bought the car, may have used the name when he's bought other things, perhaps when he was driving in the car.
Police teams asked shoppers about last weekend. Scotland Yard know neither the whereabouts nor the real identity of Mr. Black. Keith Hatfield, ITN, Knightsbridge.
An Irish farmer whose land in County Leitrim was used to hold the kidnapped businessman Don Tidy has been refused bail by Dublin's Special Criminal Court. Mr. John Kernan, who's charged with falsely imprisoning Mr. Tidy, was remanded in custody until January the 12th. Elsewhere in the Republic, a woman has been charged with helping gunmen, still on the run, who held up 3 policemen at a roadblock in County Mayo on Tuesday. The officers were left tied up in a ditch. French police have been ordered to be extra vigilant against bomb attacks over Christmas. A bomb explosion last night at an expensive restaurant, the Grand Vefour in central Paris, injured 10 people. One, a woman, is critical, and surgeons are fighting to save her leg. Police say the attack was politically motivated, though no one's publicly claimed responsibility. A family of 4 have been murdered on their farm in Zimbabwe. The 4 whites were shot by an unknown number of gunmen in Matabeleland. Neighbours who heard the shooting opened fire on the attackers, killing one of them. The others fled. At Hwangi, 31 people were killed and 215 injured in a train crash. The engine and 13 coaches packed with Christmas holidaymakers jumped the rails and plunged into a ravine. At Anchorage in Alaska, 7 people were injured, though none seriously, when 2 planes collided on the ground. A Korean Airlines DC-10 cargo plane taxiing onto the wrong runway hit a Navajo commuter jet with 9 on board. Both planes were destroyed. A row has broken out in the White House over a decision to postpone publication of a Pentagon report on the bomb attack which killed over 240 Americans in Beirut. The decision was taken by the United States Defense Secretary, Mr. Caspar Weinberger. He said to want part of the report kept secret.
The publication of the 166-page Pentagon report has been delayed following a disagreement within President Reagan's cabinet. The U.S. Defense Secretary, Mr. Weinberger, is understood to want only extracts to be released, while other White House officials are warning that this could leave the administration open to charges of a cover-up during the forthcoming presidential election campaign. The report is understood to be highly critical of security precautions at the U.S. Marine headquarters in Beirut prior to the bombing which killed 241 American servicemen. The document is believed to blame a number of senior officers for a serious misjudgment of the situation and concludes that a failure in the chain of command contributed to the tragedy. The Pentagon is refusing to comment on reports that a military court of inquiry may be convened to investigate the allegations and that some senior officers, including the commander of the U.S. Marines in Beirut, could face charges. Andrew Manderstam, ITN, Washington.
Heavy fighting broke out today in South Beirut as Lebanese army forces and militia gunmen battled to take over areas abandoned by French peacekeeping troops. Meanwhile, French soldiers, like the other peacekeeping forces, are trying to make the best of a Christmas spent on full alert. Father Christmas needed an armed escort from American Marines as he toured their positions in the city. And for British forces in ships off Beirut, Christmas parties have been in full swing.
Off the Lebanese coast and out of sight of war-torn Beirut, HMS Fearless is on patrol, ready to send seeking helicopters to the rescue of the British forces in an emergency. But it is Christmas Eve.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride along those open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle
prefer a quiet corner to write a letter home. Or chat to friends in a tiny mess room decorated from stem to stern. Everyone on board has a free phone call home for Christmas.
I got your last mail this morning, love. Another Christmas at sea.
But work must go on, and a Royal Fleet auxiliary tanker pulls alongside to refuel Fearless. The signal flags spell out a special Christmas greeting. For some lucky British troops, Christmas Eve in the Lebanon meant a special trip to the giant American battleship, the New Jersey. On board, they watched the Bob Hope Show with a little help from actress Brooke Shields. Hope has been entertaining US servicemen in foreign locations since the early 1940s and is still as popular as ever.
When they booked me this trip, they told me I'd love the scenery. Isn't that beautiful? Huh?
Hi, fellas!
On shore in their heavily guarded base, the rest of the British contingent are enjoying a simpler and more traditional Christmas. 200 miles from Bethlehem, which gave the world the original message of Christmas peace nearly 2,000 years ago.
Glory to the newborn King.
Ken Rees, ITN, in Beirut.
In a Christmas message to the Falklands, Mrs. Thatcher has told the islanders she won't negotiate sovereignty with anyone. Prime Minister was speaking on the BBC World Service programme, Calling the Falklands.
I am not negotiating the sovereignty of the Falkland Islands with anyone. They are British. You, the people, have a right to determine your own future. That is not negotiable. So, you can look forward to the new year, knowing that that is absolutely all right.
The Greenham Common women have strengthened their protest peace camp for Christmas, and tomorrow about 100 of them plan to march 3 times round the cruise missile base.
In past years, only a few women have occupied the camp over Christmas, but this year about 100 are keeping a high profile round the clock. One told me with surprise and pleasure that this morning an American Air Forceman had wished her Merry Christmas when he arrived at the base. Cards and messages of goodwill have arrived from all over the world. One card sent from someone describing himself as a mere man. Money too has arrived, and this will be particularly useful in paying off fines expected in the new year. Cards have been arriving at up to 3,000 a day.
Well, it's very moving, the letters that we are receiving, the messages of hope and goodwill and faith and encouragement. It's beautiful.
And you must be very cheered by the mild weather.
The mild weather is lovely, but it does make for a lot of mud. I think in a way it's almost better to have it cold and have it freezing, because then there's not so much mud.
Even here, the women are stuck with the washing up, but in circumstances very far removed from the comfort of their home kitchens. Amid the wind, the mud and the rain, they're now planning what further action they may take in the run-up to the new year. Michael Oliver, ITN, Greenham Common.
The Israelis have mounted a tight Christmas security operation around Bethlehem, part of the occupied West Bank. Amid fears of terrorist attacks, soldiers mingled with thousands of pilgrims flocking to the town for the annual Christmas procession. There have been several recent grenade attacks on Christian holy sites around Jerusalem. 3 soccer results tonight in the Canon League, 3rd Division, Brentford 3, Wimbledon 4. In the Scottish Premier League, St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 3. The First Division game between Airdrie and Meadowbank was postponed, and in the Second Division, Queen of the South 2, Arbroath 1. At least 137 people have now died in the worst week of winter weather in the United States for 50 years. Many of the casualties have been in road accidents as motorists battled their way along snow-covered roads to try to get home for Christmas. A 20-vehicle shunt collision near Denver was typical of thousands of accidents in many parts of the country. In Chicago, 5 children and 1 adult died trying to keep warm, starting a blaze by illegally connecting a heater to a gas main. Farmers in the Midwest can't get food out to their animals. Others are running short of stocks because grain deliveries have been disrupted. Thousands of wild animals face starvation. The snows even spread as far south as Houston in Texas. 2/3 of the country is now experiencing a white Christmas, with more than 50 degrees of frost in the coldest areas. A reminder that at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, there'll be a special ITN programme on outstanding moments of the royal year. That's at 2 o'clock Christmas afternoon. And finally, at Ski Island in Oklahoma, they've been putting up their Christmas lights, making a spectacular display that attracts sightseers from all over the state. We wish you a very Merry Christmas too.
This year, the royal family have taken their particular brand of style to more countries than ever before. Tomorrow afternoon, ITV presents The Royal Year, a look back at the fun they had, the people they met, and the times they stole the show. That's tomorrow afternoon on ITV.
Now some holiday weather for you. All districts will be cloudy tonight with some scattered showers. The showers will be mainly throughout the North Lancashire and Cumbria regions. Clear intervals will occur, and it will be a mild night, with minimum temperatures only 8 degrees centigrade, 46 Fahrenheit. Windy too from the southwest and reaching gale force at times. The winds will turn northwesterly tomorrow and decrease somewhat. Showers are likely again tomorrow. These may be heavy and prolonged in some places. Sunny intervals will also occur, with maximum temperatures a mild 10 centigrade, 50 Fahrenheit. That's the Christmas weather. Next tonight, a Christmas cracker of a case for millionaire detectives Jonathan and Jennifer Hart. That's in just a moment.
My wallet is gone.
Gone?
I had everything in it. The traveller's checks, the American Express card.
The restaurant.
I'm sorry, monsieur. We find no wallet. I'm sorry.
The nearest American Express travel service office. Do you know where it is?
Ah oui, monsieur. In the Rue Scribe.
Here it is.
Here you are. Your new traveler's checks and the new card.
1,000 travel service offices worldwide.
That's marvelous.
Oh, thank you.
Real security and peace of mind.
Thank you.
You get more than just a card with American Express. Don't leave home without us.
In Australia, we really know how to look after the Sheilas.
Boxing Day on ITV comes gift wrapped by the stars.
Shaken, but not stirred.
Good evening. Get off.
I know that, but it's about my Christmas bonus.
Do me a favour, you're freelance.
Then there's a special invitation to join Des O'Connor's Christmas party. And you're bound to find Jimmy Tarbuck mingling with the rest of the star guests on Boxing Day on ITV.
This is Granada, and now Robert Wagner and Stephanie Powers star as Heart to Heart.